very quiet.
Good morning, or That should be better. Good, good. Still have a few minutes left. So we're just waiting, allowing people to come in. Good to see you all here again. Good to have you all here. Thank you for joining us again this morning. Still just have 5 more minutes waiting for people to join us. Yes, if you're looking for a link into the Discord, the subreddit has it posted on the sidebar. If you need a link to the subreddit, look down at the basic info for this stream. You'll see a bunch of information, and near the bottom there is one called Poke the Bear subreddit. That is the one you want, and you'll be able to find the Discord information there. It's easier than me just reposting that again and again and again. Also, don't mind the flickering, we're just keeping an eye on someone in the background. Quitting me, I don't know the whole story behind it. Other mods made their decision. I don't know what it was based upon. You need to talk to them, not to me. Yeah, don't call on Anonymous. They won't help with this sort of thing. They are not your private army. Right, just to let you folks know, I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. I'm just going to grab some water, so please sit tight. We will have this up in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all once again to another edition of Camdrome Archive. This is edition 3, episode 3, and we're going to be talking about a few things that happened over the past couple of days. I know that there's been a bit of stress. There's been a bit of tension, so hopefully we're going to talk about that. So, let's start with what happened on the 14th. 2 days ago, there was quite a bit of activity from Camdrome. If you noticed on my channel, from that day alone, there's almost 4 hours of footage that we could possibly go through, and that we could be tinkering with. However, I've decided to do this presentation slightly differently and only keep this to relevant events that happened upon the day. So some things that happened on that day were important, some things were not. Just to let everyone know before we embark upon this, if you are coming in late and you're missing part of this, there will be a replay of this as soon as the video is up. So if you do miss a piece of this, or you've just got here now, don't worry, you haven't missed anything, but we are going to be starting, and I'm not going to be stopping just for the sake of stopping. We're going to talk about what happened there. We're going to talk about what happened on the 14th. We're going to talk about relevant things that happened on the 15th, which was yesterday, and then we're going to move forward. During this, I'm going to be keeping Camdrome up on the thing. I don't have many things to give you this week. I don't have as many slides as I normally do for this class, if you will. Simply, well, you'll find out why very shortly. So let's start with the 14th. On the 14th, where there was a good deal of activity from Camdrome, as I said. He was on, he was off, he was on, he was off, he was on, he was off. The most relevant thing that did occur is he came into the Discord chat and played a piece of audio while we were all in there. If you haven't heard this piece of audio yet, I do believe I still have it here, and I can play it for everyone to listen to. If everyone will please listen. This is the... Hold on. We have the audio that was from the Discord chat from the other night. I'm going to play this now for everyone to hear. Just give me a moment. I'm going to get this...
Hold on.
Okay. Calm down.
Okay.
So, is there something you're trying to say to us? Because we can all shut the fuck up. Yes.
So let's see if we can have this play here.
I'm not the only one.
What the?
What the fuck was
Well,
that?
Jesus!
Thank you.
Wow!
So that was the first piece of relevant audio that we received from Camdrome. Playing with it in Audacity and speeding it up seemed to make it into. It seemed to sound like a woman's screams, while at the same time a chain was being dragged somewhere. Defect. I believe you're the same person in the Discord who captured the most recent piece of audio. I would like to hand this piece of audio over to you afterwards, and if possible, I think it would be a good idea if we kept all the audio together in one place. You've proven yourself helpful when that was going when that happened. Mainly because we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Unless we want to gather all the thing into one place, and I can put it in a SoundCloud myself. Whatever. We'll figure things out here. So that was the first relevant thing that happened with Camdrome. I'm not going to play the edited audio because simply that is up. That's simply speculation. I cannot 100% determine whether or not it is a woman screaming with chains. That is my inference of what the sound is. So that was one thing that happened. Second thing that happened is Camdrome in the room played with us a game of 11 questions. Unfortunately, we didn't realize we didn't immediately realize that that he was listening to us on our live chat on our actual microphones. We could see him there, but he wasn't actually saying anything back. So as this went on, people started asking things like, "Man, what should we ask Camdrome?" And unfortunately, Camdrome would accept these things as questions and start to use them up. We did get a few interesting questions out, however. I was able to ask, "Why me?" And the answer that Camdrome gave me essentially was, "Meat is meat, and a man's gotta eat." So I'm nothing more than another, person. And yes, of course, we did have the highly entertaining last question. We had one question left for anyone who was listening or who watched the stream. It's in one of the videos, of course, from yesterday. When suddenly, member Ghost walks in, having just got there, asks, "Hey guys, I missed everything. What's going on? Hi everybody, what I miss? What did I miss?" And unfortunately, that counted as the last question to Camdrome, and we all sort of lost our shit very briefly. Relevant to that, Ghost, if you're in earshot of me, I hope you understand that nobody is mad at you. No one could blame you for what happened. No one can blame you for coming in and wondering what was going on with all those people there, especially with, 11 active. No one's mad. As a matter of fact, you managed to cut the tension. That was a little bit entertaining, and we all did get a good laugh at it. So, that was a relevant piece of information. That was a relevant thing that happened. Number 2. Let me just see if I can... Yeah. Relevant event number 3. Later in the evening, Camdrome returned with more audio. And unfortunately, I don't have this. I'd like to get a hold of all of it, to be honest, and just find a central place that we can put it. I'll see if I can get everything I can. But he came back again with another piece of audio that sounded like screaming and Morse code, to my understanding. Only the tail end of this was recorded, and the Morse code seemed to translate to the letters D-O-T. This was, of course, all we could get as, things started going again. I came into the room, and Camdrome on his Twitter page started changing his about info, and he also put up a picture. Now, it's not here anymore. He's since then taken it down. If you've missed something, don't worry, you can go back. There will be a rewind. Anyway. So, this picture came up. It was highly distorted and had letters and numbers in it. And at the time that this happened, we were also lucky enough to have Nick Nocturne of Nightmind join us in the voice chat. And I will say his voice is as amazingly silky live as it is in his videos, which is just wonderful. So he came in and he tried to assist us. We all took our moment. We all had our moments, and we started trying to figure out what the numbers and the letters were on the picture. At the same time, Camdrome's info here changed again to the number 20. And after it changed to 19 and 18, after a few minutes, we realized that essentially Camdrome was giving us a 20-minute countdown. We didn't know exactly what it was that the image was for, and the image was distorted in such a way that there were about 3 or 4 different interpretations, unfortunately, about what the letters and numbers were. As such, at the end of the 20-minute countdown, we failed. We did not get the puzzle solved. We did not figure out what it was. Yes, at the beginning of it, it started with 1 space 1 1. Then it became 20, 19, 18. When it got to 11, it said, "I am so disappointed in all of you," and it continued to go like that until it reached 1, 0, and then it went back to normal here. Previous to this as well, for anyone interested, I know it's something of an odd thing before Nick and before all that entered. Camdrome's image changed to a pink distorted smiling face. This was during the previous event where I went in and nothing happened, and so to placate the stream here and keep everyone entertained, I began to read the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So maybe he liked that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So we failed the puzzle. The saved pictures are online. I do believe that that they are on the subreddit as well, so you can find them as well there. If you're wondering where the subreddit is, please check the info for this stream. You'll see it at the bottom. And if they're not on the subreddit there, then they will be in the Discord, which the subreddit has a link to, which will be there as well. Anyway. Where was I? Yes. So we failed this puzzle. And at the end of it, Nick Nocturne had something to say, because Camdrome was still in the room. He was still active. He was still listening, essentially. And he let us know that this isn't normal for an ARG. And as someone who has seen and watched a few ARGs, it's true. This was absolutely abnormal for an ARG. To have 4 hours of scattered activity that was disconnected through and through again and again wasn't normal. To have all these puzzles happen all at once wasn't normal. And it had started to take a strain on a number of us throughout the day. I mean, for God's sake, I was sitting here, for 4 hours straight trying to record on and off, on and off, on and off. It wasn't easy. It wasn't simple, sort of thing. There was a bit of a gap in there where I was able to go and get a few things done, but it was sporadic in a sense that it was almost, I don't want to say irritating or trying or testing. So Nick did say that, and he did say within the chat as well to whoever was listening, because they were clearly linked to whoever's in charge of the ARG, that this was too much for a group that's new. Sorry about that, folks. I honestly don't know what happened there. Oh, there we go. Sorry there, folks. Don't know what happened there. That was very odd. That was very peculiar. Anyway, sorry, picking up where we were there. Nick Nocturne did, of course, voice that this was a lot of activity but happening all at once, and that some of these puzzles and cryptic messages that were being put out not only were excessively difficult for people to solve, but that it was essentially going to drive away people that were trying to get into the Camdrome event as it was going on, which I agree with. It hit the nail right on the head here. Considering that, I had to make 2 catch-up videos for Camdrome, and then I was going to have to make a third out of almost 4 hours of footage. It was a lot of work for one person to do. And Nick as well, kind of vocalized it, saying, he's created so much information and gone and done so many events in so many days that he was almost tempted to make a third video, but he almost felt like he would be not monopolizing, but starting to specialize more in Camdrome than everything else, and he wanted to cover more things. He wanted to be able to talk about other creepy things, creepy stories on the net. So Nick said that, and I said my piece as well, which was a little bit. I agreed with Nick. I completely agreed with him. And for the night, I closed the stream once again. I did wait about 10-15 minutes after Nick left, I believe. I just wanted to, check. And now, at this point, I had got up, I had turned off, and it was approximately 11:30 at night where I was. I stepped away. I got up, I even mentioned, man, this is a lot of work, this is a lot of footage and everything, and considering that Camdrome is going on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, it was starting to make me question whether or not he wanted my attention and wanted my coverage. I then heard that Camdrome came back and there was a new piece of audio. There was another video put up. It was, I believe, I'm not 100% sure if it's the same Morse code and screaming sound. I've listened to it once, but I know nothing about the first recording, so I can't compare them at this time. However, when this happened, I became very irritated, and I'm not going to lie, I became very pissed off, and I started saying some choice things on Twitter. As a matter of fact, if you go back on my feed to those days, you will see that I had some harsh words for whoever was, in charge of this, I had 4 hours of footage, and now you're going on and off, and doing this. It was almost like you didn't want me to cover this anymore. As such, I decided, no, the stream would not go on that night. I was done, and I will cover Camdrome next when I feel like covering Camdrome next. So, that's what I did. After this happened, the first thing that happened was Camdrome set himself, as you can see now, to be protected. Meaning the only people that can see Camdrome's tweets are his followers. People are following him. Some people thought that he had gone private and everything was deleted. No, everything is there. You just need to follow him. Nick Nocturne also came onto Twitter, and he spoke directly with me through DMs. I really appreciate everything Nick said. He was very supportive, and he kind of reiterated a big chunk of everything that he said about, this was way too much all at once, and even his, social media had been completely blowing up from all this. It was just, it was ridiculous for this to be happening in one day like this, it was stressful, and, everyone can understand, but, at the same time, need to just take a step back and breathe. It was demanding from an eager puppet master who wasn't letting me sit down, essentially, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. I wouldn't say Camdrome's a dick. I would say more along the lines, they're highly ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with a lot of ambition, but you need to know how to pace it for everyone, for everyone's sake. So at that point, I decided I was still rather in an angry mood. I had a couple of shots. I sat down, and I closed the Camdrome Twitter feed that I had up. So that was the end of that for the night for me. And the next day, as everyone's aware, I did not do a stakeout. I did not do a video. I did not do anything in relation to Camdrome. What I did do, however, is I played Payday 2 for about 4.5 hours, and even got joined by by Sir Aim, which was absolutely fantastic. I had a lovely time. I was able to relax, and I was able to breathe for just a few hours. But I knew by the end of it that I'd have to talk about this some more, and so I decided, yes, I will come back. I will continue to work on these videos, and I will continue to inform you all about Camdrome, and from what I've decided as well, other ARGs that I'm starting to look at online. So this isn't over by a long shot, but this isn't I'm not going to monopolize. I'm not going to allow Camdrome to monopolize the channel as well. I'm going to start looking at other things as well, especially since yesterday there was no actual direct activity from Camdrome. However, there was some activity from Camdrome there was some indirect activity from Camdrome that we do need to talk about. And that is the subject of the next discussion. On the Discord chat the day prior, when the puzzles were going up and we were failing, or we were just starting them even, a user direct messaged me by the name of DR. And he informed me that he didn't think that we would be able to do this, that we weren't strong enough, and that we would fail the puzzle. We did fail the puzzle, and at the time I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this beyond any further. So essentially I just blocked the user because there have been many attempts at game jacking recently. It had been a bit of an issue, and so anytime someone who was not 11, started messaging me, it became something I simply ignored. Anyway, another user by the name of DR has been brought to this same user, DR, who I will put up in a moment here, started speaking with people in the stream, in the Discord chat. He claimed to be connected to Camdrome. He claims to be someone trying to help us. He claims to be someone who who has been essentially placed here to assist us now with future events. He does have a Twitter page, which I will now put up. If you'd like to see, it is right here. This is DR's Twitter page, at Dan Roy Jr. He's currently following me and a few other people. Now, there was a lot of speculation whether or not this person was involved. And for the first while, I thought, no, he's not involved, he's someone trying to game jack. But what happened was, yesterday, throughout a series of screen caps and messages and such, he was able to prove to the people within the stream, within the Discord, that he has been receiving direct messages from 11, who is Camdrome. He's not an executioner, I believe. He's not just an observer, he is a speaker. Or someone connected to Camdrome who wants to see us succeed. What his absolute role is, I can't say. And I'm not sure if he's even able to say either. However, when I went off of Payday 2 the other day, about an hour later I went on, and he was on the Discord, talking to people, trying to give what evidence and give what proof he was that he was part of the group. I'm going to go in here right now and I'm going to show you, because this is... oh god, that's loud. Just going to mute that temporarily, just so I don't have to hear everyone talking. Me and him did have a bit of a parlay, and while I did not believe... well, I was skeptical at first. I did listen to him and I did let him say what he wanted to say. I do have the entire conversation in its entirety, essentially. This was the original first message that he sent that made me block him initially on Tuesday. You are all losing the game, and I foresee you and the rest will not pass the next test. He was correct, but that's how it worked. On the 15th, yesterday, I unblocked him and we started to have a back and forth. I am going to screen cap all of these, and I will be putting these up both in the Discord and on the subreddit later today. So you don't need to worry about that. I will have all this for you people later on. DR also took screen caps of himself talking with Camdrome, and through his account on here, which does, of course, let me believe that does bring me to the conclusion that he is on the level when it comes to this. I'm, of course, going to be a little skeptical until we get something from Camdrome saying that he is on the level, but at this time, I have no reason to doubt that he is not trying to help. And that having been said, I will allow him to help. Or he should be allowed to help. He should be at least considered. This was all yesterday, and what I did at the end of this was I essentially let out a little bit of a last moment thing, or last little word thing, just saying that I am not connected to Camdrome. I'm a player, not a lapdog, not a program, not an executioner. So I wasn't going to take these messages, and I wasn't going to sprint off to everyone or go into the other channel and immediately put them up like the lapdog that he had been treating me as. This wasn't meant to be punishment for you or for anyone in the channel or anyone like that. I love all you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing and helpful. You guys have put together puzzles that I never could. But at the same time, I wanted to show that I wasn't going to simply be pushed around for the sake of a game. So I waited until now. And if you were in the stream last night, you heard what I had to say. And if you were following my Twitter last night and you saw that I was going to post the information today, there it is. So we have that. I think it's in favor of DR that he is working with 11 and Camdrome. There is, of course, going to be a level of skepticism that I am going to carry, but until we are told flat out no or flat out yes from Camdrome, it's very interesting. A few hours later that night, myself and DR had a live conversation within the Discord chat in regards to what his purpose was, what was going on, and everything. A few things that I've been able to gather as best I can that is helpful. The most important thing I think that we can take away from this is that DR may not be the only one operating this way if he is connected to Camdrome. DR suspects that there are other people within the Discord chat, within these rooms, and everywhere all over the place that are keeping tabs on us and that are feeding this back to Camdrome for information. It's a game that is hard to explain, but it's a game nonetheless. He's keeping tabs on us, and so he's also giving us a little bit of a player, I don't want to say player advantage. He's trying to level the field almost maybe by putting these people out there, or at least this one out there. So, as it were right now, there may be other people within the Discord who are turncoats, who are moles, essentially. Perhaps feeding us wrong information, perhaps feeding us, perhaps just keeping an eye on us. I have no reason to believe at this time as that DR is an executioner, as some people have suggested, mainly because Camdrome said that his executioners would be known and would be marked. We don't know what Camdrome's mark truly is. DR doesn't truly know what Camdrome's mark is either, though he believes that he marks all those he comes into contact and is using with a similar thing. So it's interesting. We're at a bit of a level part here. We're at a bit of a plateau right now. So all we can really do right now is wait for Camdrome. And this here has essentially been what the last 2 days have been in a nutshell. I believe I've explained everything as appropriately as I can here, and I believe I've performed what I can to let you guys know what's going on here. As far as I can tell, the DR stands for for the name Dan Roy Jr., but it could be something else that I don't know. There's nothing else at this time that I really think is going to that really I think I can bring to light or bring to attention regarding Camdrome here. He's calmed down, it seems. Maybe he's waiting for us to do something else. Maybe he's waiting for us to get something out of these players that he's put out there, or to discover another one. I don't know. Like I said, when we're talking to people who claim to be connected to Camdrome, go in with a heavy level of healthy skepticism. You know, they're not going to be able to tell us anything. There is one other thing as well that I did get out of DR that was a little interesting. He's connected to Camdrome, and he's here to assist us from what he said. But at the same time, he seems to be almost just in the same level of in the dark as us. He doesn't know a whole lot of anything. He's just someone that Camdrome has picked. Camdrome picked me for whatever reason, maybe because I was getting the most attention here from all of you guys, and I thank you very much for this. But this needs to continue. It's a game that needs to continue going on. It's a game that needs to continue being played. And so, we will continue the archives. We will continue watching, and we will continue playing whatever game Camdrome wants us to, essentially. We just have to remember that at any time, we can step away. So don't think that you're always in his clutches. Alright? So, there have been a few theories. One I brought out the other day that when Nick was talking, yes, Brother Pig MC, you hit the nail on the head there. It's possible that Camdrome has been giving us puzzles that aren't solvable. However, it's possible that some puzzles here have been unsolvable because we don't have a cipher or such. However, the puzzle that we failed to solve the other day, we were able to discover, was in fact a link to another Discord chat that was what Camdrome wanted. It was a room with just Camdrome in it. We didn't get there in the time limit, so we didn't get the next step of that, and so we just got the audio again. So there's a lot going on here that we need to keep an eye on. There's a lot that we need to go through, and I'm just glad to have all of you listening with me, watching with me, playing with me, in the chat, on Twitter, messaging me through Steam, and on Reddit, and in the Discord. It's always good to have more allies. So it's good that we're able to progress like this. So I'm just going to note a few things here. There are a few links in the hang on a second here. There are a few links here in the description here. I'm putting one up into it right now that is labeled Camdrome Audio. This links to a user known as Defect. I'm going to be sending her the audio from the other day, the distorted screaming possibly, and she also has up there already what is it called? The conversation between myself and DR. So hopefully that'll be of use, and hopefully it'll be helpful. There's also the subreddit address on there if you're interested in looking. It also in the subreddit there is a link to the Discord chat if you're not in it yet. So that's good. I hope you all take away from that. And of course, I'm going to plug this at the very bottom here. There is an option if you'd like. I'm not a huge fan of taking donations from people, but if you do want to buy me a cup of coffee, there is a link at the bottom, ko-fi.com, and then some blurb that'll, if you click there, you can essentially send me $3, and I can go over to Tim Hortons and buy myself a double-double to keep awake, which would be very helpful, of course, if you did that. You don't have to, but you can. At this time, for about the next 10-15 minutes, I am going to leave the stream open, and I am going to answer any questions that you may have that have crept up over the past couple of days. So feel free to talk to me, and I'll answer anything that you may want me to try to clarify for you. The open Q&A starts now. And, I'm just gonna, while you guys set your questions up, I'm just gonna do this. Hey, boo. Okay, so questions. Let's see what we have here. So let's see what we have here for questions. Do we know what the executioners even do pertaining to the game? At this time, no. I would assume some sort of... I can't even guess. I would assume it's something to do with maybe killing the killers. Maybe it's the forms that Camdrome is able to take. We don't know. We don't know, simply put. It's just more cryptic stuff. This is more concern about you, but are you feeling better? I'm feeling much better from yesterday. Yes, there was a period there where I was very stressed out for the day. It was a little bit of a headache, and I really didn't know what I was going to do there. I felt like I was losing my mind with the way things were going. But not everything went as poor as expected. Not everything was very bad. What else do we have here now? No, check my Twitter. Fine, I'll check my Twitter. Whatever you people want here. Oh, we've got questions on there too. Interesting. I don't think those are real questions. Will Dan Roy be helping or killing, if you know that is? From what I understand there, Papyrus, Dan Roy is likely to be helping. However long he is able to help us for is however long that Camdrome allows him to help us for. So I don't know how long that'll be, and I don't know how long the game will go for him. So that is a thing there now. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just got sent an offer to oh my goodness, to have a what's it, a contract with a YouTube group. I'd be interested in this if it weren't for the fact that they sent me this email in Comic Sans. Wow. Sorry, moving right along. Have you seen the new Twitter account? You're talking about what is it again? I was just looking at it here. You just linked it. 68747430A2F2F. Yeah, I've seen this guy a few times. I believe that's the one that we were referring to as Skits. I don't know. I am following this user, but I'm taking everything he says with a grain of salt because the videos he's posting are from a variety of events and games out there. Could be of interest, could not. I don't know at this time. He did send me a bunch of cryptic stuff at one point, but I took it all again with a grain of salt. Has Camdrome given me Camdrome EXE yet? No, he hasn't. I'm still waiting. He said he'd contact me. Nothing yet. What kind of coffee do you like? I prefer ice blended coffees, particularly the chocolatey ones from the chocolatey or the caramel ones from Tim Hortons. They are absolutely phenomenal, and they really chill me on nice hot days. Today is actually rather cool here in Vancouver. It's almost, this morning it was actually quite cold, so I probably wouldn't drink one of those today. I'd probably have a nice warm, nice hot double. Good old staple of the Canadian diet. So that could be interesting. That could be quite interesting there. What else do we have here? Any more questions here? It doesn't look like we have anything else coming through here. Why do you think Camdrome is doing this? Well, to drum up activity, to get attention. That's the number one reason I think he would be doing this. It's the only thing that really makes sense. Otherwise, why would you want all the attention on you if you didn't want all the attention on you? Doesn't make sense. Let's see what else we have here. Just checking messages and such here. There's quite a bit that we could yeah, I think that's the majority. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I'm looking at it now. I do believe that other channel may not is likely not linked to any of this and everything. It's really posting ARG stuff. Have you had a double steep tea? It's A++. I haven't actually. My girlfriend's a big fan of tea and everything, but she's the one that would have that more likely than me. I straight up just like coffee. I'm a coffee guy. I have done tea for a bit. I do have a couple of teas that I like from local companies around here, such as David's Tea and Tivana. But I'm more of a coffee guy. And even then, I don't drink. I don't drink coffee like every day, but I will drink one if I need one, kind of thing. What are we going to get when we win? From my conversation with DR, this is about self-understanding, but even that was intensely vague. So I still have no idea fully what this is going to turn into. It's obviously going to turn into a game of some. Well, it's already a game, but it's going to turn into possibly more of a physical download game. So yeah. Duke Leduc just got into stream. Can we have the chat logs between you and DR? I'm going to be posting them after the stream here. Don't you worry. They'll be up on the Reddit and also put into the Discord, so you don't got to worry about that there. What else do we got here? How did you first hear about Camdrome? I actually first heard about it about 2 years ago when all this thing started. When it first appeared at PAX 13. I didn't get immediately involved with it, though I was aware of it I have been aware of it for quite some time. So that's all I can do. Are you going to be okay with the stress putting the stress on you from the suspense or frustration? I'm going to be okay. I think I just needed that day there to kind of back off and breathe. I had been tracking Camdrome for 5 days straight, and then to what was it, to receive to essentially have information hidden, and not only that, to have the night where I had my little. The night where I got really pissed off. I don't want to call it a temper tantrum. It kind of was a temper tantrum, I'm not going to lie, maybe. But the night I did get really pissed off and say, fuck it, I'm done for the night kind of thing, Camdrome didn't just disregard me when he went in and put up the audio. He disregarded all the people that had come into the stream that either had been invited by me or other people or Discord members or even Nick Nocturne. There was almost 200 people in the stream that night, and Camdrome decided he didn't want to share the information with them. He just wanted to give it to maybe 15 people and watch it spread after that. That seemed mean to me. You want attention on this? Then we will give you attention, but you need to give us something in return. Especially when you've got fans here coming in by the droves, looking at everything, and just it seemed mean. It seemed mean to me. It seemed mean, especially to all of you. It wasn't right. Where are we here? I feel this will be mentioned in the actual game. Who knows, IckyB? I mean, if you don't remember, Binding of Isaac had a bit of an ARG element to it at the beginning and everything, and Binding of Isaac is one of my favorite games out there, so who knows? Who knows? Do you think Camdrome will do something very eventful? Again, I don't know. All we can do is wait. Even DR doesn't know. All DR knows is that we can wait. So it's just keeping an eye on him. Whatever happened to the doll masked man? He just disappeared from the whole thing. The doll masked character is the murderer, the killer, as far as we can tell there, Brother Pig MC. They appear as a physical manifestation of Camdrome, maybe as a person that Camdrome is controlling. So that's as far as I can tell you for that one there. That's all what I've been able to estimate from it. That's all I've interpreted of it. It could be a wrong interpretation. We could learn something completely different, but that's it right there for me. Let's see. Do you think any of the information we get from Camdrome over the months will be part of the actual game? Ah, yes. Knew I nearly forgot to mention something, Boz. Thank you for bringing this up. Camdrome, during the 11 questions that we did fail, or during a previous one, did mention that there may be an open beta. He said this is disappointing, open beta may be cancelled. But we'll see. Maybe we'll find out when the open beta is going to be, which would be absolutely great. Also got here. Do you think the person behind Camdrome has even planned out the rest of the game, or is he just winging it as he goes? You know what? I would assume that this person has been planning things out for a while. Starting them up now after Nick Nocturne with Nightmind put attention on it, and then me coming in with the live streams, I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's something that he has been planning. But they now definitely do have a audience that is interested in what they're doing and what they're going to go with. So they do have people with attention on them. He knows they now have a slightly larger audience than before, and this would seem like the right time to release more information, kind of thing. While people are watching now, kind of thing. So, I'd like to think I certainly think that there is a plan here. There's something going to go on here. Let's see. Good things to come to those who wait. Yes, absolutely. You might want to rest for a day or so. You're getting stressed out so much. Yeah, I have been. I'm taking care of much better. I'm taking care of myself much better now. I'm feeling a little bit better. But yeah, there are certain points where I do think this person may be winging it. Maybe it's possible. I can't say. What else do we got here? Just kind of feels he wasn't expecting this much attention and got overexcited when it happened. Hey, you know what? If I was an indie game developer and I went from 0 to 500 people looking at my stuff all at once, and I'm being extremely lowballing with that number, because, well, okay, let's be a little bit higher. Let's be a little bit more honest. If I was, a developer and suddenly, let's say 50,000 people started looking at my thing because of Nick Nocturne of all people, that's amazing. That's a big leap in people looking at your product, especially if it's been 2 years and people don't quite remember it. So that's a possibility as well. That's another jump in there as well. Who else do we have here? What else? Who do you think is going to win, AJ Styles or John Cena? Well, Jordan, I would love AJ Styles to win, but I could see John Cena winning because it's his first match back since his injury, his first real match back, so they could do that. Then again, if they did AJ Styles winning, that would be phenomenal. However, we know how the WWE works. AJ Styles would eventually then have to lose twice in a row to John Cena, so John Cena could get his win back and keep looking strong. Did you think at one point during the 11 questions that Camdrome was a system and not a person? Yes, that did occur. We did make a guess that he may be a program that's essentially monitoring us. He seemed to respond to some command protocols, but not all of them. We don't know. Again, we're still in the dark about this, though it is possible that he is a system, a computer, if you will. Who is James? I've heard a lot of talk about James. Pulling back the curtain just a little bit, looking at videos and other things, footage, and possibly people behind the development of this. James is James Id, one of the guys with Team Meat. He is a programmer for. He's a programmer, and he created a number of ads and did a lot of development for games, for other games such as Binding of Isaac, Lakeview Cabin, Super Meat Boy, and much more. If you look there, he's actually connected to Edward McMillan and the Binding of Isaac as well. I love James Id's work and everything. He does a phenomenal job. If this is his work, you know what? I'm impressed by it too, because this is really, really cool. So that's how it works. That's how it kind of goes down. It's possible that he's half AI, half human. He could be. We don't know. We have to wait. So we don't know. We don't know. But yeah, so it's been a crazy last 48 hours really, and Yeah. Do you think we'll be cut off if we disappoint Camdrome too much? Well, he did say that we disappointed him, Creepy Kid in the Shadow, and then now we may have DR as an ally, or at least a temporary ally, to point us in the right direction. So I don't think this is over yet. This isn't over by a long shot. There's still so much more for us to see. So much to do, so much to see. So yeah. So we're all we can really do is wait and see what Camdrome's going to do next. I may do some more stakeout videos in the future, but I'm not going to promise that. I would say spread Camdrome if we want to see what happens next. Maybe I think that's probably what he wants as well. And of course, it's always good to bring light to indie game developers. It's always good to give them a bit more of a poke, show them a bit more love, show them a bit more attention. If you know anyone who is interested in Camdrome, of course, direct them to these videos, because these may be the quickest way for them to catch up with 3 videos that are 45 minutes long. Really, if you cut off the first 15 minutes, it's not useful. So yeah, it's a heck of a thing, and we're waiting. That's all we can really do. More of a question channel, but do you think you'll start playing more creepy type horror games, or do you think it will stick to payday games? Fallen Angel. From what I'm hearing from my girlfriend, she wants to buy me the graphics card for my computer faster. So there's a good chance that I'm going to start streaming other games, not just Payday. I'm going to start streaming other things, including Dead by Daylight, which she bought from me as well already, and is wishes I could play, but my computer can't run it as it currently is. But Dead by Daylight is going to be definitely playing. Overwatch is definitely going to be playing, and I'm probably going to find a stack more of games that I'm going to want to play. And of course, when it comes out, I have a pretty strong feeling I'm going to be playing whatever Camdrome is going to be releasing to us. So yeah, I think that's all that I really can say. I've gotten through all the questions here, which is from a developer's point, why would you cut off an audience you just become aware of? I think. I don't think it was what's it called? I don't think it was I don't think it was an intentional thing. I really think he's just trying to keep the interest going, to keep the fire stoked with attention as to what was going on there. So he maybe expected me to jump in again and put up the stream again. Maybe something else was going to happen, but at that point I was just like, no. You've done this 3 times today now, and I am going to sleep. It was midnight. I am having a drink. Quick question, the Goon: do you have a beard, and is it amazing? I kind of have some chin hair. I used to have a glorious mustache that grew into it, but I did shave it off this week. So that's a little bit of insight from me there. So yeah. How'd you get up in the Camdrome thing? Why does he poke at you the most? Like I said, I got interested in I knew about Camdrome a while back. I saw him liking stuff after the events of the my brain's all fucky. I saw him liking stuff after the video from Nick Nocturne Nightmind. So I decided, hey, I'll do a live stream there, and he just sort of jumped on and started communicating with me. I think the reason he's doing so is because I am giving him the most attention, and also I have brought the most. Well, I wouldn't say the most. I have brought a live stream level of attention to him, which is pretty impressive. I mean, look at the room right now. I have 77 people just asking me questions, and I'm answering them. So it's amazing, to have this many people that just want to hear about this thing, and he's definitely going to latch onto this more and go with it, James Id, Camdrome, Edward McMillan, whoever you are, we love you. We want more from you. We just want you to not, don't have it all release in one day, is what I'm saying. Just give us a bite, give us a taste, and then let us stew with that, and So that's me. It's especially difficult if it's especially difficult because everything has happened within a week, so it's hard to catch up with everything that's happened within a solid week, because well, people are not going to be able to sit and watch, well, whoever it is, Jack Doe. People are not going to be able to sit and, watch a week's long worth of videos in a day, That's why I'm making these abridged Camdrome archives that are essentially highlighting the important stuff at this point now. Because of those 4 hours, I was able to sum it up in, 20 minutes by just talking about it here. We don't know, as James said. Well, yeah, but whoever it is. Goon, have you seen the more clear footage of the Camdrome PAX video? No, I have not seen much except for a couple of the little things that have leaked out from certain people. There was also apparently some activity from I can't remember who it was, but apparently one of the 11 original executioners that was given another piece of the picture came out the other day after they heard about the subreddit and they heard about all the activity going on here. So there is, if you go onto the subreddit, there is stuff there. Goon, do you think Camdrome will go offline for a while? I don't know. He's been really active. Maybe he needs a day or two to refresh and figure out what's going on. So it's pretty cool. Don't underestimate the power of fandom. There's podcast fans. There's podcast fans follow that are 5 hours for one video, and those are weekly. Yeah, that's pretty nuts, man. That's some pretty insane stuff. But we're not talking about like a 5-hour weekly thing. We're talking about 16 hours of footage because little things keep on happening. We need to figure out what's going on. So yeah, it's some pretty interesting. Goon, check that video. Check your link. Okay, hang on. We got something here. We got someone wants me to see something. Oh, there's clear Camdrome footage now. Okay, it's just 59 seconds of it. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm peeking at this very briefly. Okay, this is kind of cool. This looks like it might be source footage, which may have been given to one of the executioners as well. Okay, so this is something that I'm going to look at. I'm not going to stream it on here simply because I don't want to get slammed up the butt with a cease and desist or some shit like that. If you'd like it, I'll put the hang on, let me just get this thing and I'll put the link up. Let's do this here. Copy link address, put it there, just make sure it's the right one. There it is. Yeah. This seems to be on Camdrome's page that has, what the hell? Yeah, it's an unlisted video. Yeah. So there's probably more of these out there as well that we just haven't seen. So I'm going to put this in the... I'm going to just do that there. I'm going to put it right there. And it's also going to be unlisted Camdrome video in the bottom chat there. In the description. It's there as well now. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be helpful. That's going to be definitely something worth looking at. And it's yeah, you can see it there. It's just between the audio and the coffee thingy. So if you want to take a look at that, that's worth looking at, definitely. So it's good to see it. There's a clear version of a part of the PAX video at least there. So that'll definitely be worth looking at for a little bit. So I do hope that all this information has been helpful for people today. I want to thank everyone for their support. Both here and both here and all over the place have been able to decipher the Camdrome audio. I infer it, Daniel. I am reading it as it sounds like someone screaming while chains are being dragged around. So yeah, that's it. That's all I can really say. That's from the Camdrome count that was in your stream. Yeah, it was Thinking Observer. That's the guy that Nick Nocturne was talking about. Anyway, so I think we've gone as far as we can today here. I think that this is going to be the most information I'm going to be able to get out to you regarding the past 2 days. I want to thank everyone, like I was just saying, for everything. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. You guys have been so helpful and so supportive to me, both here on the channel or on Twitter or in the Discord. This is an amazing community, and I am absolutely glad to be part of this. So I want to thank everyone again for everything here. I'm going to play one more little ad before I'm on my way out here, and then I'm going to close up the stream. Be sure, of course, to visit the subreddit, reddit.com/r/poke Camdrome, all one word. We're trying to treat that as more of an information hub than anything else. My videos are just being used to catch people up. Be sure to spread this around for people that don't know what's going on or who want to catch up. Hopefully these videos will be of use to people and act as a bit of a guide for them while they try to catch up, and as we all try to figure out what Camdrome is. So hopefully I'll see you all again soon in the future. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not immediately, but it would be wonderful to have something else to talk about soon. Hang on, someone's linking something. I'm just going to see what it is. Invalid perimeters. Hopefully get to hear from you guys soon. Hopefully we'll see from you soon. Thank you again to everyone who's followed me, who's liked me, who's subscribed to me. Thank you all very much to everyone, even more, who has thrown money at me for coffee, and some people have actually, sent me things on Steam. You guys are just amazing. You guys are wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm so lucky to have you guys, watching me and chatting with me and being so supportive and awesome. So I'm just going to hit the play ad button, and when this finishes rolling, I'm going to close the stream. Thank you again, everyone. I hope to see you all in the future. Have yourself a lovely night. I'm going to go buy my pets some food because they need dry food. Take care. Thank you very much. See you next time.
I just want my children to love. Stop lying. Stop manipulating. Be nicer.
Of audio while we were all in there. If you haven't heard this piece of audio yet, I do believe I still have it here, and I can play it for everyone to listen to. If everyone will please listen, this is the.
Hold on.
We have the audio that was from the Discord chat from the other night. I'm going to play this now for everyone to hear. Just give me a moment. I'm going to get this.
Hold on.
Okay. Calm down. Calm down.
Okay.
So, is there something you're trying to say to us? Because we can all shut the fuck up. Yes.
So let's see if we can have this play here.
I'm not the only one.
What the?
What the fuck was
Well,
that?
Jesus!
Thank you.
Wow.
So that was the first piece of relevant audio that we received from Camdrome. Playing with it in Audacity and speeding it up seemed to make it into. It seemed to sound like a woman's screams, while at the same time a chain was being dragged somewhere. Defect. I believe you're the same person in the Discord who captured the most recent piece of audio. I would like to hand this piece of audio over to you afterwards, and if possible, I think it would be a good idea if we kept all the audio together in one place. You've proven yourself helpful when when that happened. Mainly because we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Unless we want to gather all the thing into one place, and I can put it in a SoundCloud myself. Whatever. We'll figure things out here. So that was the first relevant thing that happened with Camdrome. I'm not going to play the edited audio because simply that is up. That's simply speculation. I cannot 100% determine whether or not it is a woman screaming with chains. That is my inference of what the sound is. So that was one thing that happened. Second thing that happened is Camdrome in the room played with us a game of 11 questions. Unfortunately, we didn't realize we didn't immediately realize that that he was listening to us on our live chat on our actual microphones. We could see him there, but he wasn't actually saying anything back. So as this went on, people started asking things like, "Man, what should we ask Camdrome?" And unfortunately, Camdrome would accept these things as questions and start to use them up. We did get a few interesting questions out, however. I was able to ask, "Why me?" And the answer that Camdrome gave me essentially was, "Meat is meat, and a man's gotta eat." So I'm nothing more than another, person. And yes, of course, we did have the highly entertaining last question. We had one question left for anyone who was listening or who watched the stream. It's in one of the videos, of course, from yesterday. When suddenly, member Ghost walks in, having just got there, asks, "Hey guys, I missed everything. What's going on? Hi everybody, what I miss? What did I miss?" And unfortunately, that counted as the last question to Camdrome, and we all sort of lost our shit very briefly. Relevant to that, Ghost, if you're in earshot of me, I hope you understand that nobody is mad at you. No one could blame you for what happened. No one can blame you for coming in and wondering what was going on with all those people there, especially with, 11 active. No one's mad. As a matter of fact, you managed to cut the tension. That was a little bit entertaining, and we all did get a good laugh at it. So, that was a relevant piece of information. That was a relevant thing that happened. Number 2. Let me just see if I can... Yeah. Relevant event number 3. Later in the evening, Camdrome returned with more audio. And unfortunately, I don't have this. I'd like to get a hold of all of it, to be honest, and just find a central place that we can put it. I'll see if I can get everything I can. But That should be better. Good, good. Still have a few minutes left. So we're just waiting, allowing people to come in. Good to see you all here again. Good to have you all here. Thank you for joining us again this morning. Still just have 5 more minutes waiting for people to join us.
Very quiet. Good morning, or
He came back again with another piece of audio that sounded like screaming and Morse code, to my understanding. Only the tail end of this was recorded, and the Morse code seemed to translate to the letters D-O-T. This was, of course, all we could get as, things started going again. I came into the room, and Camdrome on his Twitter page started changing his about info, and he also put up a picture. Now, it's not here anymore. He's since then taken it down. If you've missed something, don't worry, you can go back. There will be a rewind. Anyway, so this picture came up. It was highly distorted and had letters and numbers in it. And at the time that this happened, we were also lucky enough to have Nick Nocturne of Nightmind join us in the voice chat. And I will say his voice is as amazingly silky live as it is in his videos, which is just wonderful. So he came in and he tried to assist us. We all took our moment. We all had our moments, and we started trying to figure out what the numbers and the letters were on the picture. At the same time, Camdrome's info here changed again to the number 20. And after it changed to 19 and 18, after a few minutes, we realized that essentially Camdrome was giving us a 20-minute countdown. We didn't know exactly what it was that the image was for, and the image was distorted in such a way that there were about 3 or 4 different interpretations, unfortunately, about what the letters and numbers were. As such, at the end of the 20-minute countdown, we failed. We did not get the puzzle solved. We did not figure out what it was. Yes, at the beginning of it, it started with 1 space 1 1. Then it became 20, 19, 18. When it got to 11, it said, "I am so disappointed in all of you," and it continued to go like that until it reached 1, 0, and then it went back to normal here. Previous to this as well, for anyone interested, I know it's something of an odd thing before Nick and before all that entered. Camdrome's image changed to a pink distorted smiling face. This was during the previous event where I went in and nothing happened, and so to placate the stream here and keep everyone entertained, I began to read the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So maybe he liked that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So we failed the puzzle. The saved pictures are online. I do believe that that they are on the subreddit as well, so you can find them as well there. If you're wondering where the subreddit is, please check the info for this stream. You'll see it at the bottom. And if they're not on the subreddit there, then they will be in the Discord, which the subreddit has a link to, which will be there as well. Anyway. Where was I? Yes. So we failed this puzzle. And at the end of it, Nick Nocturne had something to say, because Camdrome was still in the room. He was still active. He was still listening, essentially. And he let us know. He let us know that this isn't normal for an ARG. And as someone who has seen and watched a few ARGs, it's true. This was absolutely abnormal for an ARG. To have 4 hours of scattered activity that was disconnected through and through again and again wasn't normal. To have all these puzzles happen all at once wasn't normal. And it had started to take a strain on a number of us throughout the day. I mean, for God's sake, I was sitting here, you know, for 4 hours straight trying to record on and off, on and off, on and off. It wasn't easy. It wasn't simple, sort of thing. There was a bit of a gap in there where I was able to go and get a few things done, but it was sporadic in a sense that it was almost, I don't want to say irritating or trying or testing. So Nick did say that, and he did say within the chat as well to whoever was listening, because they were clearly linked to whoever's in charge of the ARG, that this was too much for a group that's new. Sorry about that, folks. I honestly don't know what happened there. Oh, there we go. Sorry there, folks. Don't know what happened there. That was very odd. That was very peculiar. Anyway, sorry, picking up where we were there. Nick Nocturne did, of course, voice that this was a lot of activity but happening all at once, and that some of these puzzles and cryptic messages that were being put out not only were excessively difficult for people to solve, but that it was essentially going to drive away people that were trying to get into the Camdrome event as it was going on, which I agree with. It hit the nail right on the head here. Considering that, you know, I had to make 2 catch-up videos for Camdrome, and then I was going to have to make a third out of almost 4 hours of footage. It was a lot of work for one person to do. And Nick as well, you know, kind of vocalized it, saying, you know, he's created so much information and you know, done so many events in so many days that he was almost tempted to make a third video, but he almost felt like he would be not monopolizing, but starting to special. Yes, if you're looking for a link into the Discord, the subreddit has it posted on the sidebar. If you need a link to the subreddit, look down at the basic info for this stream. You'll see a bunch of information, and near the bottom there is one called Poke the Bear subreddit. That is the one you want, and you'll be able to find the Discord information there. It's easier than me just reposting that again and again and again. Also, don't mind the flickering, we're just keeping an eye on someone in the background. Quitting me, I don't know the whole story behind it. Other mods made their decision. I don't know what it was based upon. You need to talk to them, not to me. Yeah, don't call on Anonymous. They won't help with this sort of thing. They are not your private army. Right, just to let you folks know, I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. I'm just going to grab some water, so please sit tight. We will have this up in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all once again to another edition of Camdrome Archive. This is edition 3, episode 3, and we're going to be talking about a few things that happened over the past couple of days. I know that there's been a bit of stress, and there's been a bit of tension, so hopefully we're going to talk about that. So, let's start with what happened on the 14th. 2 days ago, there was quite a bit of activity from Camdrome. If you noticed on my channel, from that day alone, there is almost 4 hours of footage that we could possibly go through, and that we could be tinkering with. However, I've decided to do this presentation slightly differently and only keep this to relevant events that happened upon the day. So some things that happened on that day were important, some things were not. Just to let everyone know, before we embark upon this, if you are coming in late and you're missing part of this, there will be a replay of this as soon as the video is up. So if you do miss a piece of this, or you've just got here now, don't worry, you haven't missed anything, but we are going to be starting, and I'm not going to be stopping just for the sake of stopping. We're going to talk about what happened there. We're going to talk about what happened on the 14th. We're going to talk about relevant things that happened on the 15th, which was yesterday, and then we're going to move forward. During this, I'm going to be keeping Camdrome up on the thing. I don't have many things to give you this week. I don't have as many slides as I normally do for this class, if you will. Simply, well, you'll find out why very shortly. So let's start with the 14th. On the 14th, where there was a good deal of activity from Camdrome, as I said. He was on, he was off, he was on, he was off, he was on, he was off. The most relevant thing that did occur is he came into the Discord chat and played a piece